All right. So now we get into this manifesto, huh? All right. See what this dude's talking about. By the way, I could have swore I saw one of them drones out here. Boy.
And we start with the Fox News alert. You've been seeing this video for over a week. The suspect in the murder of the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson, has now been officially charged. Brooke Singman breaks it down for us for all we know, and we know a lot. Brooke.
Yeah, we do, guys. Good morning. So this is
1,000 of y'all was in the last video's comments. I was talking about this. It's not him. It's not him. They didn't really catch him. Okay. Well, send me some proof. Let me know.
Suspected killer remains behind bars in Pennsylvania this morning. Luigi Mangione on your left here is now charged in the killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO.
And there were 1,000 Mario Brothers jokes. I was just like, delete. Let's read the normal comments here. Everybody thought they were so funny with their Mario jokes. Not one Mario joke was funny.
Brian Thompson 6 days ago in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect now faces several charges. So in New York, he's been charged with second-degree murder along with 3 other gun-related charges. And in Pennsylvania, he faces 5 more charges, including forgery, carrying a gun without a license, and lying about his identity to officers. His arrest came after a tip from a...
You know, I know a lot of y'all were kind of like, oh, he did that, but he goes and he smiles and he flirts with somebody here, or he goes to McDonald's and he was able to figure this out. But listen, there's plenty of intelligent people that do stupid stuff all the time. Every single one of you that's got average intelligence has done something. You grabbed some trash to throw it in the trash, and you grabbed your keys on the way out the door, and you threw your keys in the trash, and you kept the trash in your hand. Look, something as simple as that. Everyone that's intelligent has done or said something stupid. How many intelligent guys or guys that know how to make money or athletic guys that do this or successful guys in this, they can't get a woman to save their life. Just because you're really smart in one area doesn't mean you're smart in another. Doesn't mean you know how to truly cover your tracks. Doesn't mean you truly know how to hide. Doesn't mean you truly even thought out how the rest of your life would be lived. I could see somebody being real intelligent one place and stupid somewhere else. I mean, the man didn't have, if you think about it, he could have just stalked him, knew he was living there, staying at that hotel, and waited. He did enough, recon to know, all right, he's, and waited for him. You got what I'm saying? Like, I don't, what I'm trying to say is I don't know how slick or intelligent of a plan he exactly had. I'm not saying he wasn't a smart dude. Apparently he went to, prestigious schools and da-da-da-da-da. But like I said, everyone can slip up. Everyone can slip up. And we've seen it over the years and all these conspiracy theories of different people's deaths in different situations. Even our own government has dropped crumbs. Other governments have dropped crumbs. Things they didn't cover right. Details they left here. Details they left here. Okay? Some mastermind criminals have never been caught, but there's a lot that have, that left breadcrumbs, forgot to do this, did something stupid here. So everybody can be caught.
McDonald's more than 230 miles from Manhattan in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Authorities say the 26-year-old was carrying a gun.
Sometimes people are really intelligent. They're just off. Especially just, autism. If they're autistic, I had a friend that was autistic. And she in particular couldn't figure nothing out with nuance. Sarcasm or this and that. It always went over her damn head. And she told me this. So there would be sometimes I would say stuff to her and it would go over her head and I would explain it to her. And then she'd be like, oh, okay. It's just what I'm saying. And she had a hard time in specific aspects of her life where she has this super high IQ and could do this and can do that and can run a effing company, but couldn't do this simple thing. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Sometimes you're not Batman. Just because you find out a criminal figured this out doesn't mean they're going to figure something else out.
Believed to be the one used to shoot Thompson. Local officials hailing the employee who made the call to authorities as a hero. Listen.
In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero.
They have people celebrating it, making T-shirts and everything.
Hear me on this. He is no hero.
And I get where they're coming from, because insurance companies have definitely made some decisions that were life or death. All I'm saying is, I don't know if it should have been carried out like this. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. They got all the money in the world to protect themselves and fight you with their lawyers. I get the frustration. And I get why some people would feel it was justified. Like, I get it. But I'm not stepping out of my door to go take the CEO out. I just, I really want to know the full story.
The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's this morning.
Oh, yeah, and they call in the McDonald's worker a snitch. I'm like, good Lord.
Mangione also had clothing and a mask similar to those worn by the shooter when police arrested him Monday, as well as writings suggesting ill will toward corporate America. New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
They found the letter and the gun on him?
Yesterday.
How is it not him? I mean, I get it. People can be framed. I'm not going to sit here and, but I'm just saying. They're like, it ain't him. It's not the real guy. Well, I'm like, they found the manifesto on him. They found the gun on him. I don't understand. What?
Hey, Tyler.
I guess we found your guy.
Yes. We as New Yorkers, we appreciate it.
New Yorkers.
You just did a great job. Heads up policing. You took a dangerous person off the street. We thank you so much.
It was great to do. More than happy to do it. I can't say I was expecting it waking up this morning.
Meanwhile, a former roommate of Mangione says he can't believe Luigi is the man suspected of pulling off this heinous crime. Watch this.
Unfathomable, knowing the kind, person that I saw and knew. I remember he said he had a back issue and he was hoping to get stronger in Hawaii. It also weighed on him that he knew that there was an impending surgery.
Several questions still remain surrounding the shooter's motive as police in both states continue to investigate the case. Ainsley, over to you.
It's so strange, Brooke. On his X account, there's a picture of an X-ray. We don't know if that's his surgery, but it has some hardware in this person's back. So apparently in chronic back pain constantly, according to residents that he lived with in Hawaii. But we'll get to that. Thank you so much, Brooke. Great job. All right, who is this guy? He's from a prominent Italian-American family in Maryland. His grandparents started a few country clubs. They also own some healthcare facilities and real estate companies. And according to friends in Hawaii, he wanted to distance himself from this wealthy life. His family on social media said that they were shocked. They were devastated. Now, then his school, he went to the Gilman School, which is in Baltimore. Now, that is a very prominent school. It's all boys. He was there from sixth grade until graduation. He graduated in 2016. It costs about $40,000 a year to send your children there. And many senators, many governors graduated from the Gilman School. His friends called him likable, athletic, studious, on the quiet side, had an interest in technology and robotics, and he was the valedictorian of his high school. And we're going to show you a clip of that valedictorian speech in just a second. He thanked his parents and he thanked his faculty. Then he goes on to have an Ivy League education. Goes to UPenn with a bachelor's and a master's degree, graduated 4 years ago in 2020 with a computer science degree, and he minored in mathematics. He was a member of the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. Then he goes to Hawaii. That was his last place of residence, and people that he lived with in the surf break co-living community said he was in chronic back pain constantly. He's been estranged from some of those friends. Apparently he left.
Chronic back pain. That just hit me for some reason. Might have to do with insurance.
2 years ago, that was the last time he had that address, but then he went back. I'm reading in some of the reports, started a book club. Many people left that book club because they didn't agree with some of the book choices. The NYPD is saying his writings express...
What were the book choices?
anger at corporate America. There's a 3-page manifesto where he was complaining about the healthcare industry.
Okay.
He said, these parasites had it coming. I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done.
Wow.
So he's an anti-capitalist. He had some leanings on his Facebook page or some of his social media that leads us to believe that.
Right. And of course, you mentioned he was valedictorian. Here's a little of his speech from high school.
The people in our lives, especially our parents and teachers, have such huge roles as well. I'd like to personally thank each of you for sending your sons here, as I can't imagine the class of 2016.
So he's at the
any
top.
of these men on stage. Further, thank you for all the time and love you've put into our lives. You've instilled values in us, fed and clothed us, and simply been there for us every step of the way.
It's so surprising to people who know him, that he's the guy, because it's like, are you kidding? He was a very popular guy. He had it all going for him. There you can see after he was arrested. It's one of those things where his image, the image of that person, the suspect, in that mask flashed around the world. And then when he pulled down the mask you saw that just a couple of days ago. And then when he pulled down the mask at that hostel in New York, right there, to flirt with the clerk, reportedly, people got a good look at it. So it sounds like he may.
Hey, look, if he wasn't a ladies' man, come on, guys. Look, all the guys. Look, there's a lot of young men that are being taken advantage of by the red pill community, by the extreme red pill community. There's guys that are red pill that definitely have sane minds, and they teach some pretty good stuff. But think of the guys that are not ladies' men, but are really smart, that could pull something like this off. Women are their weakness. So many guys are white knights. They can be gotten by a cute girl winking at them, smiling at them, flirting with them. Oh, hey, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm on a mission here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could definitely see like a nerdy, studious, geeky guy that's really smart, a hacker, somebody like that, pulling stuff off, getting, you know what I mean, sidetracked by a woman. I could definitely see that happening.
One fatal mistake yesterday, and that was he was at this McDonald's, not far from the Greyhound bus station in Altoona, and he was over on the side, as far away from the counter as possible, and he pulled down his mask. He was wearing the surgical mask there. Pulled down his mask to eat. You got to do that. And somebody, it sounds like a customer, saw that person and then discreetly went over, talked to somebody who was working at that McDonald's and said, I think that's the guy. They called the cops. The rest is history.
So I talked to someone high up in the NYPD Police Department. They essentially said, look, before they captured him, they had everything but his identity, fingerprints, DNA.
I know somebody lives in that area too. I should message them to see if they know who knew who this was.
They had things that show that he was an activist in that sense, and they were getting closer and closer. And it was just old-fashioned style police work, put out an image, get it to the public, and see if they can track this person down. And they did that. So it just goes to, show. If you see something, you say something. But the question is, Brian, that the family members, friends, people that were close to him, not recognize the photo that was put out there for all of us to see.
Yeah, that family's going to make a statement shortly. Everybody knows them. Evidently, they got a huge charity. They have a huge. It looks like a huge club there that they converted in the 1980s. So they're of wealth. Mm-hmm. He's got a BA. He's got a master's. He seems to have everything. But something went wrong when he left Hawaii, it seems. And he came back. He didn't even go to the same place, didn't keep in touch with the same friends. And I see this one posting on social media where he has a lot of nutritional things on there. He says, one of his friends, he's supposed to be, I guess, at the wedding. Hey, I need you to call me. I don't know if you're okay in just or just in an isolated place, but I haven't heard from you in months. You made commitments to me for my wedding, and if you can't honor them, I need to know so I can plan accordingly. Wow. And just another note, Eric Adams.
You start talking like that, using jargon like that, you made commitments to me. And if you cannot fulfill them, that's when people, if your friend says that to you, you can tell they're at their wits' end. And they're a business guy, probably. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't just talk like that. It's like business jargon. When people start talking to you like you broke a contract, you're getting in deep water with them.
Brought up something that is way overdue. You have to have a mask law. There's no reason for this guy to be wearing a mask, right? So you have to, if you go indoors, you got to take that mask off. If you go to a camp, you got to take the mask off. He's going to push Hochul to make a statewide rule about masks because people are using that to their advantage to commit crimes. Those are the criminals.
NYPD said that he gave the Unabomber's manifesto a rave review. He wrote 13 reviews on books on Google Reads, and he follows on X Edward Snowden, Joe Rogan, AOC. They say his writings expressed anger at corporate America. Hats off to the person who recognized him, because I have to be honest, the pictures of you see right now.
Probably was somebody who saw him around and knew who he was or something.
Now, I don't think that looks like the guy that had the hood, that had the mask. I wouldn't have recognized him.
When I was talking to the cops yesterday, they said that the eyebrows.
I was going to say it's the eyebrows.
The eyebrows is what got them to figure out who it was. Right. I will say this: he did have another manifesto that was set to be released on YouTube that has since been brought down.
That's right.
He had it. Sometimes you can go in the background of YouTube and schedule a post to be blasted out.
Know all about
YouTube is not going to let.
It was supposed to be blasted out at 6:45 last night.
Not the handwritten one they found.
That was 3 pages. We've got some new.
Well, it sounds like it's him. All these manifestos, they found a letter on him. They found the gun on him. I mean, it sounds like it's him. So if it's not him, send me the links to stuff that proves that it's not him. This could be some whole could be some whole big old conspiracy, but
additional details. Apparently, when he was apprehended at the McDonald's, he was found with $8,000 in cash, $2,000 in foreign currency. And the suspect said about that, I don't know where that money came from. It must have been planted. I don't have that kind of cash. He's a human.
Okay, could have been planted on him. Hey, we've seen movies do crazier stuff. They say life is stranger than fiction, right? So maybe he's not the guy. Maybe it was all planted on him. I don't know.
I mentioned a moment ago that his X account features an X-ray of somebody who's had back fusion surgery. And you mentioned how when he lived in Hawaii, one of the managers there said that chronic back pain impacted everything in his life. He says, including his ability to have a romantic life or enjoy surfing. And what's interesting is
he couldn't have sex because of that back pain.
Think about, and the manifesto talks about greed and in the healthcare industry. That guy's 26 years old. What happens when you are 26 years old? You are knocked off of your parents' health insurance.
Let me tell you something.
In many cases.
If I was that dude and they were framing me, I'd have been hollering. Man, it'd been, I didn't do it. I was framed, this and that. I've been hollering out all types of details so that all the sleuths, all the gumshoes, all the detectives online and social media could all gather together and be picking up clues and show that it's not me. But he seems real quiet. I know you got the right to remain silent. It wouldn't have been me, though.
We don't know if he was on his parents' health insurance, but that is, you can have your kids on it until 26. If he's been impacted by 26. That, was that part of it? And when you, apparently, according to the cops here in New York, when you read his 3-page note that he was found with, and it was handwritten because he didn't want a digital trail, it echoes what was found on those 3 gun casings, about all that other stuff.
Okay.
And it looks literally like he was caught red-handed. He had the gun, he had the note, he had the fake ID, and he's got the face.
Well, the big thing now is going to be
and the eyebrows
in Manhattan.
Look, with everything that I've seen, and listen, I haven't been combing over these details like a lot of you do. For what I've seen so far, this is the guy. But I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I have not backtracked through anything to be like, okay, let me connect. Okay, let me see this picture. Let me see this detail. I haven't done any of that. Right now, this appears to be the guy, to me. Y'all let me know if it's not.
It
with
would
proof.
be Alvin Bragg's case to try between the court. The cops that I speak to want the feds to step in. Now, of course, in New York State, there is no death penalty. But assuming that the trial starts to begin, it will be back in the Trump administration, and they will have the death penalty. If the trial starts to begin in New York State, there is no death penalty.
Really?
But assuming that the trial starts to begin, it will be back in the Trump administration, and they will have the death penalty back on the table. Currently, the feds have removed the death penalty under the Biden administration.
Wow.
But if the Southern District of New York gets the case and Pam Bondi
All the
is
crazy crimes that happen in New York, and there ain't no death penalty?
the Attorney General, the death penalty would be back in play.
I'm Steve Doocy.
Man, look. Shit. Y'all let me know what's happening, but this is wild. But I mean, this isn't like anything like, like I watch a lot of documentaries on killers. I've seen plenty of them. They're eerie sometimes, but it kind of gives you a look into how people think. And it always happens. There's this one on HBO Max right now. It's like something like Living with Evil or something like that. It's like all these people, and it's a lot of them you could tell something was wrong. But in situations of people that knew them, just like a lot of them, they're just like, we didn't see it. We didn't see it. Like, he was so nice, or she was so sweet, or you see what I'm saying? So, and guess what? Every single one of those killers made a mistake, did something stupid. Like, sometimes real stupid, almost as if they wanted to get caught. You know what I mean? 10 million subscribers. Whoa. Y'all let me know what y'all think. This might be an open and shut case, Johnson, but we'll see.